Today we are continuing to add integers. This is 2.2b. It says, what addition problem does the number line show? Again, we're adding, finding the sum. So remember we have our song up here that goes to the theme or the tune, row, row, row your boat. Same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then you'll be exact. So before we get to that song, just looking at our number lines here, remember we always start at 0. And this arrow is bolded to the right. We went 5 to the right, so I'm just going to write 5. Then we're combining another arrow, we're adding another arrow on, but we're going towards the negatives. So this one I'm going to count, we're going negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we went negative 8. And we end up right here at negative 3. If we use our song, same sign, add and keep, different signs like these are, subtract, 8 minus 5 is 3, and there are more negatives, so that's why our answer is negative. Let's look at the next one. This one we're starting at 0 like we always do, and we went negative to 4. So we started at negative 4, went negative 4. And we're going to combine it with some more negatives, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 more. And we ended up right here at negative 7. Using our rules, same sign, add and keep, we are correct, we did get negative 7. Alright, same thing again. Here we have a negative 9 and a negative 13. They're the same sign, they're all negatives. Add them up. If you need to add 13 plus 9 like this, go for it. 9 plus 3 is 12, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have 22, and they're all negatives. If you wanted to use your number line for that and go negative 9 first, negative 8, negative 9 is right there, and then another negative 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2 more, past 20 would be negative 22, just like we have. Next, we haven't done any like this, we have 3 terms. If we have 3 numbers, we're just going to go from left to right. So just looking at the first 2, I'm going to look, so where are we here? Come on, there we go. Just at the first 2 numbers. This first is a negative, the second is a positive, so different signs subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1, and there are more negatives, so our answer is a negative 1. But then we have plus a negative 6. I just brought down exactly what it says there. This is a negative and another negative, same sign, add and keep, so 1 plus 6 is 7, and they're all negatives. Let's flip over to, or not flip over, move down to the next slide. Again, before I even look at this problem, you guys, we know 0 plus 3 is just 3. 0 plus 10 is just 10. Oops, 10. So 0 plus negative 4 is just negative 4. The 0 does nothing. Okay? Here's another one with 3 terms. So we're just going to look at the first 2 terms. Positive 8 and negative 9. Different signs, positive, negative, so we're going to subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1, and there's more negatives. And then plus negative 6. Here we have negative, negative, same sign, add and keep. 6 plus 1 is 7, and they're all negatives. This next one, there's only 2 numbers, negative 13 and positive 12. So different signs, we're going to subtract. 13 minus 12 is 1, and there's more negatives. This is where we have some new information. We know these are just numbers, but anytime we have a letter, we're going to replace it with whatever that letter is equal to. So x is negative 5, y is 10, and z is negative 7. So I'm going to start writing it out just like it is. It says 4 plus, there's a parentheses, and a negative. Note this negative comes right from there. And then y is just 10. So we're going to put in a 10 there. And then there's a parentheses, and it says plus z, and z is negative 7. So if we just go from left to right like we've been doing. Just the first two numbers, positive 4 and negative 10. Different signs subtract. 10 minus 4 is going to give us 6. And there are more negatives, so it's a negative 6. Then it says plus negative 7. So we have negative 6 and negative 7. They're all negatives. Same sign, add and keep. 6 plus 7 should give us 13, but keep the negative sign, negative 13. Alright, this next one, x. X, it says, is negative 5, so I'm going to put negative 5 there. Plus, and then we have the absolute value of y. And y is just 10, so I'm going to put a 10 inside there. Anything that goes in our shower, absolute value has to come out clean or positive, so that's just 10. So we have negative 5 plus 10. Well, negative, positive, different signs subtract. 10 minus 5 is 5. And there's more positive, so your answer is a positive 5. Make sure, again, if you need to stop the video at any time, to go ahead and do so. Alright, on the back side, the temperature in your city at 6 a.m. was negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit and increased by 15 degrees Fahrenheit by noon. What was the temperature at noon? So we need to figure out where do we start off at and where do we need to get to. So first we start at negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit. And it says we increase. If we're increasing something, it's going up, or adding, positive. It's going up by 15 degrees. So we started at negative 8, and we're going to add 15. These are different signs. Subtract. If you need to write it out, 15 minus 8, we can't really do that. So just count backwards, or count up from 8 to 15, and you should get 7. Even better answer would be if you included degrees Fahrenheit. Perfect. The second one, it talks about a parking garage. The bottom level of a parking garage, so here's a picture of a parking garage, has an elevation. Elevation just tells you how high or how low you are compared to the ground. So I'm going to draw a picture. Let's pretend this is the ground with some grass. Here's the grass and a tree. So this is the ground, and the bottom level has an elevation of negative 45 feet. So the bottom level of the garage is below ground 45 feet. And then it says the top level of the garage is 100 feet higher. So higher would be above or positive. So we're going up 100 feet. What's the elevation at the top? So they want to know, how do we get here? Well, first we started with a negative 45, and then we added 100. These are different signs, negative and positive, so we're going to subtract 100 minus 45. Well, I can't do 0 minus 5 here, that doesn't work. So I'm going to borrow from this 10, make it a 9. So this is 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, and 9 minus 4 is also 5. So our answer is 55. However, we are talking about feet, so FT is short for feet. We are 55 feet above the ground. Alright, our last few problems we're going to look at, make sure you're looking at only two numbers at a time. So here, same sign, all negative, same sign, add and keep. 4 plus 3 is 7, and they're all negatives. But then we have plus 11. So these are different, negative, positive, subtract. 11 minus 7, or counting up from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's 4 numbers. And there are more positives. Just looking at the first two, negative 15 and positive 15, different signs subtract. Well, 15 minus 15 is just 0, nothing. So we have 0 plus a negative 20. Well, does 0 do anything? Nope, it's just 0. So our answer is negative 20. Here we have negative and a positive. Different signs subtract. 11 minus 8 should give us 3. There's more positives, so it's positive. And then plus a negative 3. Positive 3, negative 3, different sides subtract. 3 minus 3 is 0. Alright, moving along down below here, we have a negative 4 plus a negative 8, same sign, add and keep. 8 plus 4 is going to give us 12, and they're all negatives, keep the negative sign. And then plus a negative 11, same sign, add and keep. So if you need to, 12 plus 11 is going to give us 23, and they're all negatives. I would like for you to try this last one on your own, and then play the video when you are done. So go ahead, try this one right now, and then click play. So hopefully you notice this was positive and this was negative. So different signs subtract. 12 minus 8 will give you 4, and there's more negatives. And then we have plus 12. Again, negative, positive, different signs subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8, and there's more positives. So your answer is just 8. You do have a homework assignment, 2.2b, which is on adding integers. Good luck!